Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I'm here with Saturday the 23rd off the board with pineapple papers. And I'm kind of mixing it up a little bit as well today because I've got a pin as well as a sketch for my design team sketch for scrapbooking with AnnMarie.com. So here's the pin, and it's At Home with Ashley, and it's actually like a do-it-yourself, make your stairs a rainbow, which is so gorgeous. I don't have stairs, or I would totally think about that. I thought it would go really well with the Fantastico by Obed Marshall, and I haven't used this collection yet. I just got it from a cherry on top, and so I'm super excited to get this used. So here's my design team sketch for yesterday, the 22nd, which is why I'm going to go ahead and share, because it is posted now on Anne Marie's free membership site. So you should go check that out at scrapbookingwithannmarie.com. And I will have that linked below. She has a free site and a membership site, and the design team sketch is always available on the free site as well. So I have pulled a couple different things out of this collection. So I'm liking these tags, and so I pulled that. And then these different papers I pulled out because of the colors, and that top paper just absolutely speaks to me because of the stairs. I mean, it looks very similar to the stairs. Like, right? Look at that. Oh. And so that is what I have decided to use paper-wise. And I did pull like 5 sheets of paper because there's, lots of layers. And this piece of packaging, which is going to be my scrap for the day since I'm using a new collection and don't have scraps yet. I have the puffy stickers, the thicker alphas, and the chipboard for the Fantastico collection. I do have some ephemera on its way. It'll be here soon. But I couldn't wait to dive into this collection. I love Obed Marshall. So I have the papers, I have the ephemera, I have the embellishments, the papers, these pictures, pin, and this awesome sketch by Anne Marie. So let's see how this goes. So the first thing I do is decide which of these 5 papers, I almost said 4, would be best as the base page. And originally I thought I might use that rainbow-esque paper, but I really thought the blue was the one paper that kind of was different than everything else and didn't have all the pinky, yellowy stuff to it. So I'm going to use that as my background. And then, of course, I'm going to use this stripe that was in the inspiration as my strip that goes down the middle. And then I'm just cutting a 1 1/4 by 12 inch strip. Now, in her sketch, it looks like the papers probably come a little further over her little strips. But I decided instead of doing that I would use 6-inch strips. And that way I could get both strips from 1 1/4 by 12 inch strip. So I am all about using the papers, but also not wasting paper. Now it wouldn't have been a waste to have cut 2 strips and made them longer, because that would have been fine. But I knew that my pictures were going to be a little bigger than what's in the sketch, and that I'd be embellishing so that a lot of anything coming out on the right side was going to get covered up anyway. So I felt like this was the way to go. So I end up cutting this pinky orange color to a 4 1/4 because I'm going to use those as my mat for my pictures. So then the next thing I did was get my Creative Memories circle punch, and I'm going to make 3 punches. 1 out of the sprinkly looking paper, 1 out of the floral paper, and then I was going to punch 1 out of the rest of that paper and decided I could punch it out of one of the picture mats that I cut out, because it goes over far enough to where I could mat the picture around it and you wouldn't see it. And so then, of course, like I said, I cut one of the florals, and I make sure to get a flower in there, not just a bunch of partial flowers, at least 1 full flower in the middle. So I get those and set that stuff aside. So now I'm going to lay this out and see what I like. And here's where I bring in that piece of packaging. And So I love using packaging for Thursday's layout for Off the Board with Pineapple Papers. I use my Especial by Obed Marshall, and I did the same thing, except I used almost all packaging and branding strips for the entire layout. And it just makes me so happy. I used one single piece of paper, which was my background paper. Other than that, everything was scraps and packaging. And it's just like an awesome feeling to make a layout that you're proud of, that you love, and you really just used one piece of paper. So because everything is the same color, because it's from the same collection, I want to make sure that everything stood out. So I opened up my dried Marigold Distress Oxide by Tim Holtz, and I've never used it before, so I tested it out on a little strip of paper. And then I felt like it was a dark enough color to let things stand out, but not so dark that it was in your face or was going to take away from the layout. Because most of the time I use hickory smoke or black soot, but decided I really wanted to keep with this soft colors. So I went ahead and inked around all of the strips that I put down. I also inked around both of the pictures before I double mat them. I'm going to ink around the tag that I use, and then anything else paper-wise that I bring in, I ink around. The only thing that didn't get inked was the main page and that strip of striped paper down the middle. And I thought about it afterwards and thought, should I have inked that? But I decided against it anyway, because there's so many places where the end of the strip is right near where it would meet that, and I thought that it would look better this way anyway. So go me for making good choices, even on the fly. So I went ahead and inked like I said, the mats of the pictures, but then I put them on white cardstock mats because I wanted them to stand out a little, and everything on here, since it's all coming from the same papers, is the same, colors. So I am going to get my circles inked up. I do that too. And I'm going to get those tucked in over there on the left side. And I make sure that where I put them, they're not right next to the color or the pattern of the circle. So I want to make sure that, it's not like an extension of that little strip. So I start with the same pattern that I made the papers in, the floral, that ombre-ish rainbow, and then the sprinkles. And that's how I put the circles down as well. And then I'm going to ink up this tag. And the tag, I'm not going to even attempt to say in Spanish because I will probably butcher it, but it says "this day is going to be fantastic," is the loose translation. And I don't want it coming up all the way up to the top corner, so I cut it in half, and at the heart, and I tuck the top part in at the top, and then I tuck that little storefront part at the bottom. And just a little backstory so you understand some of the things I put on this layout. My family and I went to Buc-ee's. And if you don't know what a Buc-ee's is the largest truck stop, or gas station type place that you will ever come across, with 30 bathrooms, there were 26 stalls in the ladies' bathroom. 26 stalls, and they are known for having the cleanest bathrooms ever, and I can attest to that. I mean, so they're typically over on the west coast of the United States, and the first time I ever went to a Buc-ee's was in Texas, and it was this big thing, and so they built one in the neighboring towns 30 miles from my house. And so my family and I decided to go to Buc-ee's, and of course it's a gas station, huge gas station, food everywhere, all the things. And so there's not really anywhere to sit around and eat. And so we drove out to this park and ate out of the back of our cars. And so that's what this picture is. I'm going to do another matching page to go with this of us at Buc-ee's. But it's, yeah, Bucky the Beaver. And if you don't know what it is, you should look into it. And if you've got one anywhere near you, you should definitely stop by, especially if you like beef jerky or if you like kolaches or anything like that. They have lots of good stuff. So that chipboard piece that I use says que rico, I think is how you say that. And that means delicious. So that's why that's there. You can't really tell from this distance that my sister and my nephew and my brother-in-law, who are in this picture, have big sandwiches in their hands. It's like a smoked brisket sandwich. And so I didn't want you to be like, if you knew Spanish and you knew what that said, like, what are you talking about? You're standing in the back of your car and you say that it's delicious. So, so that's why that's there. And then the storefront is because we were at this gas station, which is massive. And we were getting food and stuff. And one of the stores says cafeteria. And so that's why I like that, plus the phrasing about it being a fantastic day. So then I get the puffy stickers out, and of course I got to cover my tag hole, and I was going to do it with a heart, but it looked weird. So I put a little flower on there from the puffy stickers, and I've pulled out hearts from the thickers, and I love those. I have some at the top that are kind of ending that little stripe with a heart, and then I have one over by the tag, and then one down by on top of one of the circles, and then one right above the que rico. And then I felt like something was missing. It needed a little something else. So I pull another little small tag off of the cut apart sheet, and it says Cada Dia. Oh, I think that's how you say it. And then I put a thicker at the bottom for my title, and I think aquí. Anyway, you all, you don't want me to do that. It's terrible. Anyway, it means here and now. The one at the bottom means here and now. And so I thought that was perfect for this title because, like I said, it was the first time we had been to the Buc-ee's. Well, my family, my mom and I and my son had been to the Buc-ee's in the nearby town. My brother-in-law, my sister, and nephew had already been brother-in-law multiple times. So, and then that one at the top says each day. And that's a loose translation, you all, okay? I don't speak Spanish. I'm just telling you. So here is the close-up of the sketch from Anne Marie Bryant. Like I said, you all should definitely go check out Scrapbooking with AnneMarie.com. She is fantastic. She started the Scrapbooking the Day Away on Facebook, and it became super uber popular. There were so many people on there. It is amazing. But then her group that is on the Scrapbooking with AnneMarie.com is there are so many opportunities for encouragement and inspiration, tutorials, classes, Zoom crops where we get together. She's super fun. This month we're doing Christmas in July. Last month we went to summer camp. There's things all the time, and some amazing people who have really inspired me and encouraged me. So I hope that you all will go check that out, and the people following along with Off the Board with Pineapple Papers. Have a great day and happy scrapping.